there everybody, it's Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You can always look at your Moon and Rising sign readings in addition to your Sun sign reading today, Gemini, if for any reason this isn't resonating with you, or just to get extra clarification for the week. This is for the week of September 26th through October 3rd. I'm using the medicine cards for your main spread today, and then as always drawing additional message cards from each of the Healing with the Angels Oracle and the Wisdom Oracle. This is a general reading for your sign, so whatever is most prominent in your life this week, I encourage you to take these messages and apply them to, and hopefully you find them helpful and healing. So what does Gemini need to know? All right, Gemini, so we have your cards out. I'm just going to get a little snapshot of what's going on with all four cards together, and then we'll look at them individually. So I'm looking at issues here of large scale, or what feels like it could even be a karmic lesson this week for you. We're looking at issues regarding loyalty, being a teacher and a student, and very probably having deep connections, wanting deep connections, or having to address deep connections regarding another woman. So if you're a woman watching, this would be a woman in your life. It could be your partner, friend, co-worker, sister, mother, etc. If you're a man watching, it could be all those people, obviously, and your partner included. So we're looking at connecting with not only another woman in your life, but what's important to them, okay? I'm not speaking about femininity necessarily here, but I am talking about female expression, the expression of woman, what's unique about woman as opposed to a man. So these are major themes that are going to be propping up in your week. And nothing overarchingly heavy or anything like that, but there could be a decision to make, and there could be a dam that's going to break, so to speak, this week, just around a decision that you may have to make here. So let's look at these one by one. In the central position, we're seeing wolf here. This represents you. This is teacher. So first thing we're going to notice here is that we have two pack animal cards. So there could be something very cliquey this week, or if there is another woman involved, just be careful here that you're not involved in backstabbing. And this could be coming into your life as well. I'm not suggesting that you're projecting this, but that you could encounter this week as someone who's receiving this type of energy, not necessarily expressing it. So just be sure that you're not the one expressing it. But certainly if there are issues around pack mentality and hierarchy, especially around work with women or research with women, I'm even going so far as to say like anything having to do with women, the creative arts, sports, anything where women are involved with planning together. This could be like a fundraising project, that type of thing. So And I think one of the main themes that I'm seeing here, of course, with, loyalty, teacher, and of course, otter here, with sacred spiral or, large macro issues, is that something that's projected this week will come back to the person threefold. So just be aware that whatever you're projecting this week is really kind and it's considerate, and that you're leading the pack, so to speak, in those themes that people know this week, that they can turn to you as a person who's trustworthy and loyal, and you can be trusted. And you also want to know who you can turn to this week in case this is coming, this sort of pack mentality is coming into your life. You want to know who you can trust and who you can talk to as well. It's 10 to 1 going to be a woman, or have to do with themes regarding women. So planning, research, as I said, even sports, creative projects, art in general. This could even be like some meetup group, like a hiking group or something. Like, it doesn't have to be this massive overarching life or death situation. It's just the energies that are playing out this week. Certainly, if you feel like you are undergoing something life-altering this week, there could be, like I said at the very beginning, like a dam that's going to break this week, or a very definitive decision that's going to be made this week with regard to hierarchy and with regard to loyalty and where you fit in the pack. Okay? So specifically looking at wolf being teacher, another way that I like to read teacher is twofold. One that, yes, of course, you can act as a teacher this week, but it's a simultaneous event that you will be a student. So it's wise to be mindful of this, especially if there are any situations this week regarding hierarchy, especially if you're at the top of that perceived or real hierarchy. You want to be really kind. You want to put yourself in the other person's shoes, and maybe I will suggest that you recall during this time of teaching someone else that you were taught at one time too, and you didn't know everything you know now. So maybe try to be a little compassionate, be a little gentle with someone else, because you're learning something at the same time. They have something equally as important to teach you, whether you're aware of that or not. So don't get bigger than your britches, okay, is the biggest lesson here with wolf, because the individual at the highest the animal on the highest part of the totem can be brought down really easily this week. So it's really important to be humble and to be fair. Recognize that you're dealing with probably a peer, someone who is equal to you, okay? Even if they are new at something, even if you are teaching them something, or vice versa, you're being taught and you're the student and someone else is the teacher. You have something to teach here as well. So at the door, that has to swing both ways in this situation, or the person who claims to be at the top, or the player at the top of this hierarchy will find themselves sort of crumbling here. So just be fair and recognize that everyone has to start somewhere, including you. And it could be also just a nice reminder to be gentle and let people ask questions, and there's no dumb question and that type of thing. So be honorable this week about that in particular. And certainly if you're up against a situation where this is playing out and you feel like there's dishonor or disloyalty going on, you're going to want to find someone to talk to here. It could be that you feel pushed aside a little bit, or misunderstood, or like your point isn't getting across somehow here. So it's important that you're able to express to at least one other person this week in a fair and kind manner. So dog is loyalty, and loyalty is in the influencing position to your current position. And this is where, like I said, I'm reading 2 pack animals here. So this is a really strong energy. We're looking at getting heard, feeling heard here, making yourself known, showing off your gifts and talents and everything else. And again, you need to validate yourself about this as well. You can't look for accolades from anyone else. You need to be confident in yourself, or else someone can, take those pegs out really quickly. So be confident, don't act confident. Just be confident here. And if you're dealing with someone, Gemini, this week who is, you are learning and they're the teacher, you're going to want to admit, at least to yourself, that it's important that they treat you as an equal, even though you're just learning or they're just learning. And then with dog, with loyalty here, there could be an upset around positioning here, losing face, or having your loyalties dismissed or undone, feeling uncertain about who is loyal to you here. And there is an opportunity to get away from someone who has been hurting you, or if you are that person inflicting that, of course that can be emotional, psychological, whatever kind of hurt there is. But again, I'm looking more in group dynamics here. So someone who's sort of bothered in that group or feels, generally speaking, unwelcome in some way here. That's going to be voiced, okay? One way or the other. It's not going to stay secret. So, but again, it won't cause this enormous upset. It'll probably look better on you, frankly, if this is happening to you and you're noticing this and you really, require people to be gentle and fair this week, or at the very least professional this week. You will be welcomed when you do tell somebody. You just have to know who to speak to here this week. So, really, really speak to someone, even if they're outside of the situation. This third party that you could even get some feedback about this week, it would probably benefit you to have a third party talk about this versus go directly in it, unless you know exactly who to trust here. And then with Otter, this is where I'm seeing woman medicine. This is probably surrounding woman dynamics, group dynamics with women. And there's probably just someone getting ahead of themselves, someone playing boss when they aren't, someone taking a teacher or leadership role and, sort of making it their personality, like almost taking it too far. So there just needs to be a little bit of lightening up here, a little bit of laughter. And like I said at the very, very start, a sense of we're all the same, we're all here together, we all had to learn at one point. Just sort of recognition that we've all had to start somewhere. So try to find the humor in it maybe, and be light. And especially if there are other women and there are difficulties going on this week, try to be gentle with them as well, because women as a class go through something very unique from men as a class. And if there is someone upset and bothering you this week, Gemini, you maybe just want to steer a little bit clear, get your bearings, have a chuckle, and maybe things will smooth out next week, or you can have a discussion next week about it. Certainly if you're projecting this, they're probably going to be having a sense of humor about it with you to try to disarm the situation, right? So if you meet with that at all, that's all that's going on there. And that would be a clue to you that we need to bring things a little bit back down to earth, get our feet in the ground, and find things to recognize about one another as opposed to differentiate. And here with Grouse is Sacred Spiral. So this is general energy for the week. Of course, this touches all of the cards here. And this is what I'm seeing at it as it being, a macro issue. This isn't mouse, for example. This isn't something where it's just like one very nitty-gritty conversation that's taking on a life of its own. I mean, this is a theme. A sacred spiral is something that starts off small and spirals out and gets really, really big. So this is taking over, and I'm 10-1 again, according to the cards here. I mean, it's not my opinion. I'm just reading here, but 10-1, everyone knows. It's not a big secret. So it's not like even if you do try to talk to someone or you try to have a sense of humor about it, you can be the bigger person here. And if you're the one doing this for whatever reason, Gemini, that'll be turned around, right? Like someone will be having a sense of humor about it with you, just to disarm the situation. And once it's discussed, once it's learned, and people understand what's going on, and the heart of the matter is addressed, it'll fade, right? This isn't something that's going to take on a life of its own for sure. But it could change somebody, because the teacher-student relationship here in the center is altering, right? A teacher-student, anytime you're being taught or learning something, it alters you now or in the near future. So keep your ears and eyes peeled for that as well. Just try to stay, clued in and your antenna up and feet in the ground, and maybe just stay a little bit grounded this week. Here with romance with one of your additional cards. This is gorgeous. This is a beautiful card to have in any reading. Of course, romance can be something that you're doing within yourself. You're enjoying pampering yourself, and you're feeling, sassy and sensual, and that's perfectly valid. You don't need a partner to validate that for you. So you could be feeling this in your own life, in your own world, for your own reasons here, or you could be celebrating actual romance with someone else, whether you're just meeting, or it's a new phase of your romance, or perhaps you're just feeling romantic. And by treating yourself romantically, you're emitting that type of energy. And it certainly could be a very potent energy by the end of the week here, Gemini, seeing as we've got woman medicine here at the end of the week, or a probable outcome card. And of course, this is the flirt, right? This is the coquette. This is someone who, is just, there's a debutante sort of feel to the woman medicine card. Something a little bit princessy, not nasty or mean or cold or distant at all, anything like that. It's warm and generous and loving and expressive and all the things, like I said earlier, that we know is unique about women. So it could be, like I said, something that you're bringing into your own life and enjoying. If you're a man, you could really be enjoying meeting or learning about a woman this week and becoming romantically involved. And of course, if you're a woman and you're dating a woman, this could be very exciting as well. It could be a tide is turning here, and you're both learning more about what the other person needs from each other. But certainly if you're a woman watching and you're dating a man, you'll be feeling very attractive and appealing. And whether it's about getting someone else's attention, really that's not the main theme here at all anyway, Gemini. It's just that you're going to feel sort of on top of your game this week. Cool. So your last card is why, and this is the card of motivations. This is why would you participate in things? Why would you do or not do certain things? And it could be around certainly the romance here, or your interest in romance, or someone's interest in you, as it were. And you could be now at the phase where you're thinking, well, what are the motivations here? What do I want from this person? What do they want from me? So it could be rather focused on the romance. And like I said just a moment ago, even if you're not actively looking for someone else and you're just feeling sensual in your own life, you could be asking, yourself, maybe I'm ready for a partner. Am I ready to put that out there? What kind of partner do I really want? And what are the motivations behind, securing that type of relationship right now? And briefly, this, if tied directly to the week for you with issues of loyalty or pack mentality here, you could be asking, or even it could be asked of you, what do you think the motivations are behind this upset or behind this loyalty or pack animal hierarchy here? What are motivations around maybe making yourself into something that isn't accurate, right? If you're acting like a boss or a teacher this week and it's not true, you could want to ask yourself, for example, why would you think you had to do that? And certainly, Gemini, if someone else is doing this and you're the student, or rather, sorry, you're the teacher and they're the student, and they're acting as, a know-it-all or something like that, you could try to find the connection in your own mind first, or even in your own heart. Like, what would make this person even talk to me like this? And just if this is met here with understanding and compassion and, 2 feet in the ground and not a whole lot of opinions, just like take things as they are this week, because motivation will reveal itself for you, that person's motivation, whether it's in this design here with the other woman or group of women in general here, or whether it's in the realm of romance. So not a bad week. I mean, nothing extraordinarily upsetting or anything like that. In fact, you could even learn something about yourself here that could be kind of exciting, or at the very least lighten things up. So that is your reading for the week. Thank you so much for joining me as always. And if you have a second, comment below. I love hearing from you. And make sure you subscribe, because I upload videos for your sign every single week. So until we meet next time, Gemini, take good care. Bye for now.